Hey guys, this is Matt for Creative. I just watched the season finale of Joe Pickett Season 2. This may be kind of a random one because it's not like a very big show, but I started watching this with my parents when I went back to Virginia. We watched the first few episodes, and I just realized that the show is actually ongoing. Today is July 30th, and yeah, the season 2 finale has just come out. If you don't know anything about Joe Pickett, he is a game warden in Montana, Wyoming. Man, I am not a good fan. But all in all, I don't really want to spoil too much because I think it's like a fun show. Now, we're just going to be talking about Season 2 here. I think the characters are endearing. There are some poorly written and kind of like things that just kind of like take you out. But all in all, what I really liked was the main character of Joe Pickett. And I'm going to be going through exactly what happens in Season 2. So in Season 2, he is the game warden. And of course, he has to do game warden things. And you would kind of think, as a game warden, doesn't that kind of restrict you from more of like the fun things that a traditional police officer or, you know, TV action star could be doing? And I was thinking yes, because he can only get involved when it has to do with either hunting people, you know, doing that illegally in some way. So they did pull him into a bigger story that did make it not so, like, in my mind, this could have been extremely boring, but they did bring it out because, you know, when you're in a town that's very kind of isolated like he is, game, wildlife, everything is all around you. So you're going to have to deal with a lot just as a game warden. So this, let's see, because it's been such a long time since I started watching the show, and I know it's only 10 episodes, so I'm trying to like recap exactly what happened. So there is a murder. There is a murder, and the way it's tied into the game warden, this is a murder of a hunter. A hunter goes missing. The wife of the hunter hires Joe Pickett to look for this guy, because she doesn't want this to get out that her wife is missing for any reason. So Joe Pickett goes out. He finds out eventually that this man has been just mutilated, his body mutilated, and there becomes an investigation on why exactly this happened. But as he's going deep into the wilderness, looking for the guy, he encounters some people that are almost out of like a storybook. There are these twins, which is played by one actor, and I do have to say, the actor does a great job playing two different people, and they do a great job in stitching these two people together, or kind of filming them in different ways to make it look like there's two different people. I really think they did a great job at this, and for most of the season, I was like, is this really, are there two different people playing this part? But eventually I Googled it, and it is just the one actor doing it. He does a great job. But it kind of got into like almost a fairy tale thing, because they call these the Grimm brothers, like the Brothers Grimm, like the you know, the story time stuff that we all remember from a kid. Just because, like, I don't want to say anything much about the first season. The first season did seem a little bit more grounded, and I thought that this current season was going to go in a different direction and kind of give us more whimsical things. But that happened for only a few episodes. Again, I'm not trying to ruin this because I think it is a good show to watch. It's 10 episodes per season. There's 2 seasons. We don't know if it's going to be renewed for a third. I would be happy if it did. But it is just, yeah, it's really grounded. And the character of Joe Pickett, at the end, it could be easily seen that that character just kind of embraces what's been happening and becomes like this rogue law enforcement agent that's just trying to do everything, kind of like every single action movie is, but he really sticks to his own character, and he's kind of the person, at least in the final episode, that is just trying to keep semblance of law. Because it doesn't matter if something else has happened to somebody else. That doesn't mean you can become a vigilante and go after and do everything because you've been wronged. And in the show, somebody was legally wronged, and it's really kind of hard to see people abuse somebody else and then that person not being able to do what they need to, or not work with law enforcement to get what they want done. So in a way, they're forced to be a vigilante. And of course, Joe Pickett is not happy at that fact. But in the end, they have to work together. I would say, is it a spoiler? In a way, this is a season that kind of closes this particular story, I think, in a nice, clear-cut way. There are characters that you think that have maybe been forgotten from earlier on that are brought back later. I think it does a good job, especially in the season finale, which I did watch, at closing everything up. And I think it just tells a nice story. And I live in the city. All I see around me are buildings. There's not much nature unless you go to maybe Central Park or you go upstate or Westchester. For me, I grew up in Virginia, so I'm kind of like, I'm used to the rolling hills. I did grow up in the suburbs, so we didn't have as much nature, but if you just go 20 miles in some direction, you have nature around you. So this kind of speaks to me because I'm missing nature. And seeing them, although the story is based in an American town. Of course, they film in Canada, just like a lot of other series, and it's just for, I think, cost purposes. But it makes it look good. There's trees everywhere. It's kind of like an extra layer of escape, more than just the regular TV show. Because I watch a lot of TV and a lot of movies. They're based in New York, because a lot of people want to come here. For me, I live here, so being able to have that escape, that wilderness, it really spoke to me. Again, I thought the characters were really, they were well done. Again, some things take you out of it, but moreover than anything, I think the story does well. And 10 episodes in a season, I think you could really just do this because it's not expensive to film this show. There are some CGI elements, especially like if there's a deer doing something, if there's a grizzly bear, if there's something, they can't really get the real animals. They have CGI animals, and it's not the best CGI, but it doesn't take you out of things. But this story can be told on a low budget, and you can still have your action scenes. You can still have, one actor playing two different people, and you can just film it like a traditional TV show. I would definitely like to see a third season because, yeah, they don't have to do it for much. It's not a huge CGI intense show like many things are becoming. But I'm trying to do my best in explaining the show without giving too many spoilers, but kind of enticing you to watch it just because I do have this recommendation for season 2. 10 episodes, go for it. Why not? It's on Paramount Plus. By the way, not sponsored. I have an account. I have like the cheap advertisement version of Paramount Plus, and you know what, on every other service I have the commercial free, but for Paramount Plus I really didn't watch it that much. I used to watch it more when it was, I think, CBS Now or whatever that was called, when I watched the new version of The Twilight Zone, which I really love, and that's also on the service too. But it's interesting watching a TV show with ads. It really brings me back to when I was younger, and I guess when more people watched things like a TV show on Fox, on NBC or whatever that wasn't streaming, that you really did have to sit through commercials, and it was just kind of interesting going back in time. And I think that really kind of fed into the nostalgic view that I had with the show, with kind of wildlife and growing up, in I guess a more wooded area especially than this. So all in all, good experience for me. Recommend Joe Pickett season 2, and really hope that they come out with a season 3, renew the show, I think you'll enjoy it too. Anyway, guys, put everything in the comment section below. Don't forget I'm on Instagram at nthreads@m8b9. You can email me at creativenyc2023@gmail.com. Thank you so much, guys, for watching, and I will see you next time.